Hello, everyone. Happy New Year. Happy 2017. To start off this year, I'm going to interview Rachael Roberts. I've told her I'm her biggest fan. Rachael is a course book writer. She's a teacher trainer, and a blog writer as well. Right, Rachael?
Hi, Cecilia. It's lovely to be here.
Thank you
I'm one
so
of your
much.
fans as well.
No way.
You have a great blog, and you've been writing some brilliant lessons. So it's a pleasure to be here
Oh,
talking to you.
thank you. I'm flattered. Thank you so much, Rachel. So tell us, how did you get into ELT? How long have you been teaching?
Oh, a long time. When I finished my degree, I did a degree in English and drama,
Mm-hmm.
and I kind of thought that I was going to work in the theatre. I wanted to be a theatre director.
Really?
Yeah, no, really. And
Uh,
then my boyfriend at the time, he was a languages graduate, and he persuaded me to spend a year abroad teaching English.
right.
And I just kind of found I really loved it. So we spent 2 years in Portugal,
Mm.
and then went to Brazil for 2 years.
Oh, did you come
And
to Brazil?
yes, yes, I
Ah,
lived in Brasilia.
Brasilia. Cool. How long
Yeah,
for?
2 years.
2 years. Okay.
So and then I decided I was kind of attached to the teaching by then, I guess. And so I did
Uh-huh.
my diploma, I did a master's, and I just kind of kept going, and
Okay,
forgot all
great.
about the theatre.
You forgot about it. Lovely, lovely. And yeah, have you had a teacher who inspired you?
Well, I was thinking about this. I mean, it's probably because it's such a long time ago that I was at
Mm.
school, but I can't really remember any particular teachers, but from when I was at school. But what I do remember is when I trained up to be a CELTA tutor,
Mm.
which was at International House in London,
Mm-hmm.
and there were just so many brilliant, really inspiring teachers there. And the way that it works when you train up for CELTA is that you watch other people do the course,
Right.
and then you
Mm-hmm.
gradually do more and more of it. And I just had such brilliant mentors. I mean, I remember one in particular, Jane Commins Carr, who's also a writer now.
What's his name
Although I
again?
think
Sorry, Robert.
Jane Commins
Mm.
Carr.
Okay.
She's done some.
Mm-hmm.
She did some writing on Cutting Edge, and
Okay, I have
she's also
Cutting
done.
Edge. Mm.
Well, she's also done some upper secondary books as well. And
Mm.
she was an absolutely brilliant teacher trainer. She's just so clear and so sort of easy to follow. And, I guess, she was my first role model when it comes to training. So,
Fantastic.
yeah.
That was during the Delta or CELTA?
Well, so it was when I was training up to be a CELTA tutor.
Oh,
So
okay,
to teach.
right, to teach. Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
after I did the Delta.
Mm-hmm.
So no, she was an inspiration. But there were lots of people there who were inspirations. I have to say it was an amazing place, probably still is. So.
Yeah. International House is still it has got great reputation. Yeah, as a teacher center.
Well,
And sorry.
It was a good opportunity for me, that's for sure.
Yeah, and you've got an amazing a blog, Teacher's Blog. I've been following for a long time. And how did you get into blogging per se? Do you think that I find it amazing? I started blogging recently, and do you think teachers should have a go at blogging as maybe a CPD tool? What's your take on that?
I think, yeah, definitely. I think it's amazing what you can achieve now. I mean, I do a lot of my work is from home on my own, and people often ask me, oh, do you feel, do you get lonely, or do you? And I don't feel like that at all, because there's this huge community of teachers online that I have access to anytime via Facebook or Twitter. And the blogging is just an extension of that, really. It's it's a way of communicating with other teachers, and and I've made lots of friendships with teachers. I mean, like yourself, across the world. It's fantastic. You get you get this insight into different teaching contexts, you learn things, and you do feel supported, and there are people you can go to and ask questions, or that's great. Yeah, I would definitely recommend it, to everyone.
Right, fantastic. And there is one specific blog post. It's not on your blog, but I've read on Teaching English British Council site, where you wrote about action research, and it caught my eye because I'm interested in action research in my one-to-one classes. So what would be what kind of tips would you give to teachers who are not experienced in action research, but who would like to start investigating a problem or an issue they have in the classroom?
Well, I mean, I think action research is perfect for teachers because it doesn't need to be very large scale. And I think that's probably would be my advice, is to keep it really small scale, because if you try to do too much, especially, a lot of teachers are teaching 20, 30 hours a week. There's a limit to how much time you have. So a lot of teachers start on quite a big project and then run out of steam, as the phrase goes, and they just don't have the time. So I think just even something very small, like maybe recording yourself a part of the class and then analysing it to see what comes out of that, and then choosing something from that you can work on for the next week, or, just little things like that can actually make a big difference to your practice and keep you motivated without it having to be, a massive piece of research and lots of work and time that you don't have.
Otherwise, you'll feel overwhelmed, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, and talk about it with other people. If you don't have colleagues you can talk to, then you've got colleagues online potentially.
Certainly, yeah. Lots. Yeah, so, most of my colleagues are online now. Lovely. And you've also written a few course books as well, right, Rachel, for teachers, for learners, and in your opinion, and you are part of the materials design SIG for...
Yes, that's right. Yes, I'm coordinator.
You're coordinator, yeah. Lovely. So in your opinion, I think you're the best person to ask that. In your opinion, what are the biggest challenges in material writing at the moment? And what are the first steps? I'm sorry to interrupt. What are the first steps you would suggest teachers to take if they want to tap into this field?
Okay, well, it's quite a few questions.
I'm sorry.
That's all right. I'm trying to think where to start. I mean, I think in terms of getting into writing, the best thing for sure is, writing materials for your own class, first of all. But then you really want to get feedback on those materials from other people. So I think, sharing them with other colleagues, sharing them online with the blog, and asking people to give you feedback, I think is a really good place to start. And if you're doing it online, of course, that also gives you like a body of work that you can then show, to a publisher, or, it's quite a useful thing. I mean, the sort of traditional way, I think, to get into publishing professionally, which I know works because I've seen this happen, is to contact publishers and ask them if they'd like you to read and review any materials they're working on.
All right.
Because, very often when an editor sees a good review that shows that the person understands the material, they will start thinking, oh, maybe I could just contact that person and ask them to write. I've seen it happen.
That's interesting.
So I think that is a good way in, and then you're likely to be offered something.
Great. And in terms of, you mentioned something interesting, in terms of feedback, be willing to get feedback from other teachers. It's important to be willing to receive honest feedback, right?
Absolutely.
And not just, great, fantastic work, not just praising.
You definitely have to get, used to that, I think. I mean, I think as a writer, certainly, your editor will definitely give you honest feedback, and you have to sort of be able to accept that. But I think the same thing goes for teaching as well, really. I mean, this is one way in which I think my degree actually prepared me very well for my job, because the drama part of my degree, all we did for 3 years was we would do little sort of performances and then give each other feedback. It was a very practical course. So I got very good at taking and giving feedback, and it's been hugely helpful, both as a teacher trainer, and as a writer. I think that skill is important.
Yeah, certainly. I agree. I agree with you.